front row as well. So then here we go then, 2 further formation laps for the Minimax competitors, who now head onto the track once more to get themselves set for this final heat of the day for this category. And again, just to run you through how the grid lines up, it will be Chris Hannon, after qualifying results yesterday, puts him on pole position. He'll then have alongside him the likes of Winter Cup champion Ollie Pilker in kart 413. Row 2 lines up with Jadzik Spinkovic. A lot of work to do for him from row 2 after the poor results earlier today. He's got alongside him Duraf Kendi in 411, the man who comes from the UAE, and a bit of grass tracking already in the warm-up lap from 415, I think that was Victor Bozanek. Let's have a quick look to see if we are correct. The kart now back on its way on the back straight, and yes, it was Victor Bozanek who threw the kart pretty much off the track there. So after row 2 we have Linus Henson in kart 418, then we have the rallycrossing Victor Bozanek. Row 4 lines up with Gianni Androzani from Germany and Dominic Reuters alongside, and then towards the back we will have Robert Dehaan in kart 421. So then, with all these competitors now on the wet tyres, hopefully, still playing tricky out there by the looks of it, but they're all now on what they should be the right tyres. The rain continues to come down here at Genk. One more formation lap to go then for everyone. I think they'll all just about catch up, including Victor Bozanek, who is down in front of us now. Towards the final corner he heads. Across the line they will go, and there is Chris Hannon. A bit unlucky today. He lost the victory in the first one to Ollie Pilker. He was then under attack on the last lap, on the last corner, from the man down there on row number 3, Linus Henson. So let's see this time if he can touch all the wood he can and keep those fingers crossed. Let's see if Chris Hannon, after a great qualifying session yesterday, can actually pick up a victory. That's what he's going to be hoping for. There's going to be a lot of tough opposition even within this Minimax class, as they're now heading down the back straight very, very slowly, just being told to slow to the most minimum speed they can. And then, as I said, Victor Bozanek is just about going to catch up as well towards the tail of the field. 7 laps will go by in a flash as well, so watch out to see who's going to come out on top. They will now just trundle around the hairpin at turn number 8. The 180 degree left-hander brings them back on themselves down towards the right-hander at turn 9, where is a great vantage point for all the spectators here in Belgium to watch over from the grandstand just outside the cafeteria. And then on towards the final couple of corners they'll go. There's Victor Bozanek barging his way through to try and get back to his correct grid position. Duraf Kendi will hopefully let him in, which he does. A bit of scuff on the side of Duraf's kart as well, so not too sure what's happened there, but we are good to go this time round then with 7 laps ahead of us. Wet conditions is a problem for Victor Bozanek as the race does not get underway this time, because Victor had a problem there. I think I'm not too sure if he didn't realise it was the start of the race or if he had a mechanical problem, but he's now back up to speed. So we're going to have one more formation lap. They're going to have more formation laps than they have race laps here by the looks of it, but not happy with the start there, Thomas Liner, so he's deciding to send them round one more time, whereas Victor's there, so I'm not too sure what he's doing. He should be behind Duraf Kendi, so he knew he was in the wrong place. That's why he slowed, but he should have realised beforehand, to be fair. So Duraf Kendi will then be on row 2. Victor Bozanek should be right behind him on the outside line, which have they sorted themselves? Gianni Androzani's too far up, and to be fair. So they are all in a little bit of a mixed position here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. There's 9 of them, so they all should know where they're going to be. No gaps. 4-1-2 is Jadzik Spinkovic. He's in the right place. Duraf needs to catch up now on the outside line. Victor is now in the correct place behind and alongside Linus Henson. So yeah, we're all good to go. Gianni Androzani behind them as well. So this is the order we should have. This time round it should be good to go, we hope. 7 laps of racing to look forward to. Minimax slowing down once again towards the final corner. Dominic Reuters needs to try and keep up as well on row number 4, which he now is. Thomas Liner telling them to slow. He has to run very quickly across the other side of the track. Good workout for Thomas Liner, and we are now pretty good to go this time round. For the Minimax class then, everyone correct and present. 9 competitors here for 7 laps of racing. The final time Minimax will take to the track for today, and the lights go out now as we head down towards the first corner. And again, a good start from Chris Hannon, being pushed by Jadzik Spinkovic in towards the first turn. 1 and 2 they are, but then Jadzik runs wide through down the inside line. Who is that coming through? That's the car of 418, which is from row 3. Linus Henson, again a great start from Linus up to the lead. Can he hold it on the exit of the corner? Possibly not. There's a bit of barging going on there as Ollie Pilker tries to come through and grabs the lead away from Linus Henson. So he's now up into the lead. Second place for Linus. Third place is going to be our pole man, Chris Hannon. There's been further drama behind. Two carts have been involved in a little bit of a tussle. One of those being Gianni Andrzani, and the other one going to be 412 by the looks of it, which is Jazik Spinkovic. Again, a bad result on the cards here for Jazik, who's going to drop down the order. Ollie, meantime, has been under attack for the lead in these greasy conditions, as onto the tail now comes the very quick starting Linus Henson. Chris Hannon is still with him in third. Fourth place is now going to be possibly Daraf Kendi, is it? No, it's going to be Robert Dahan, who's up to fourth from the back of the grid. So he's done really well to come through in the first lap. And there goes our second place man then down towards the final corner. But Ollie Pilker is the man that leads on towards the start finish line. They come once more. It's Ollie Pilker out front. Second place for the man next through, which is Linus Henson. Third place is Chris Hannon. Fourth place is then Robert Dahan from the back. Fifth place, Victor Bozanek. Sixth place is Dominic Reuters. Seventh place is Daraf Kendi. Eighth for Gianni Andrzani. And ninth place for the torrid day so far, Jazik Spinkovic, who's lost 6 places from the start already. But the top three all as one as they work their way through turn number 5. On towards the back straight they go for a second time. Very, very close to the edge of the track for all of them as they head through the hairpin, because that's where they'll find the grippier part of the tarmac. So that's where they'll try and pick up. Ollie Pilker again wide through turn 6. He holds on to it this time ahead of Linus Henson, but he's just running very, very wide at all available corners here, which is just leaving the door open. And if Linus Henson is feeling racy and wants to go for it, then he'll be the man to dive down the inside line. But it just settles down now as they work their way through on towards the right-hander at turn 9, although again the door's left open and Linus Henson needs no second invitation. This time it may stick, and Ollie Pilker, yes, he's going to be down to second place. So Henson now leads, Pilker down to second, third place for Chris Hannon, then a slight gap back to fourth place where we see Robert Dahan. Fifth place is still that of Victor Bozanek as well as they cross the line. Top two separated by just over a tenth of a second. Down towards turn 1 they go once more. Again, just holding on to it is Linus Henson, but Ollie Pilker seems a little bit stronger on the first half of the lap, and then Linus Henson comes into his own on the second half. So for this time round he's managed to hold the position and the gap, but just over a tenth of a second. Now working their way on through turn number 5, and they are just starting to drop now our third place man Chris Hannon. So for the third time today it looks like he may not be that lucky and get another win here. So Chris Hannon's down in third, just dropping off the tail now of the top two. Fourth and fifth are close together there, Robert Dahan and Victor Bozanek. Now being joined by these next three as well. Dominic Reuters, best race so far for him today, just ahead of Daraf Kendi and Gianni Andrzani. The German racer as the leader of this race overall. Another German works his way through turn 9. Linus Henson looking happy. You can just see the eyes there working very hard with no dark visors in this race. It means that we can see everyone hard at work. Rain continuing to fall on track as well, so it's not getting any lighter. Still raining, which means the track will be getting damper, which will be aiding these tyres to last a little bit longer as well out there on track as they power through for the third time of asking. On to lap number 4 they now go. The rest of the field working its way through. Top 9 have now completed their third lap. Linus Henson, the quickest man on circuit at the minute, 1:15.681. Great first and second sector, best of anyone, and then a personal best in sector 3, which now gives him a nice healthy 1.1 second lead in this race. So as it stands at the minute, I think Linus Henson will be on for pole position for tomorrow. In fact, he'll be tied with Ollie Pilker, but with better results, Ollie Pilker will get the pole position by the looks of it. So up towards the left-hander at turn number 8 they go. Linus Henson still out in front. Ollie Pilker second, and third place for Chris Hannon. Although saying that, Linus Henson should be the man who starts on pole because he's going to have 2 wins to his name. But we'll have to wait and see what's happened and if there's been penalties applied, which there may well have done after the second race. Haven't had a chance to catch up with those results from when we left the box, so there might be penalties applied from earlier on, so that could have affected Linus Henson's results. He goes through though for the 4th time, now leads by 1.8 seconds over Ollie Pilker. Third is still Chris Hannon. What's happening further back? A great fight for fourth at the minute with Victor Obozanek. We've got Gianni Androzani now down the inside of two people to take up fourth place. 3 wide through turn 1, and Gianni Androzani's just going to get the job done. Victor Obozanek drops now down to 5th place, and 6th place will be the one who's lost out the most there, which is the man from the back, Robert Dahan. So Robert now drops down to 6th, but what a move from Gianni Androzani. He's coming on strong in these later laps in the races, so he now moves up into 4th. Bit further back now from the top 3. They are 3.3 seconds down the road, so Gianni's not really got a chance of catching them, as a big move being made there to the inside was Robert Dahan, but Victor Obozanek looks like he's got it covered, which is good. So through now they go towards the end of this lap, and again down the inside line comes here Robert Dahan. Is going to push Obozanek really wide, and in the process he also gets through as well there. So Robert now up into 5th. Didn't want to stay in 6th place for too long, did he? So Victor Obozanek now takes up that position. 7th place still for Dominic Reuters. 8th place Jazik Spinkovic. And what's happened to Ralph Kendi? He's dropped right down to 9th place now. So he's had a bit of a bad previous lap. As the rain you can see there still falls. It looks like snow, doesn't it, as well? It's not that cold, to be fair, but it does look like snow on the camera. Linus Henson even quicker that time round. A 1:15.523. A really solid day for Linus. He'll be happy with these 3 races he's had, and as I said, sets him up nicely for the pre-final tomorrow in Minimax. He now leads Ollie Pilker by 2.6 seconds. Ollie probably would have thought he'd had it easy this weekend, especially after what he did and how he performed at the Winter Cup, but he's had some tough opposition here in Belgium. Ollie Pilker's had to work for it, and he's down there in 2nd place at the minute. Still 3rd for Chris Hannon, our pole man from yesterday's qualifying session. And Gianni Androzani is there in 4th place, not making too many inroads into the top 3. Still 3.1 seconds back. In fact, that's come down on this lap now to 2.7 seconds, so he's going in the right direction, but still, and another 3 tenths taken out on that sector as well. So Gianni Androzani just making these tyres work now, probably a little bit too late, because we're about to start the last lap of the race now. 6 laps completed, on to the last lap we go for Linus Henson. He leads the field now by an increased margin, which sits at just 2.9 seconds by the looks of it. Yep, 2.9 for the top 2. Chris Hannon 3rd. What's happening behind? Well, Gianni Androzani's only brought the gap down to 2.3 seconds. I don't think he'll get those back on this last lap, unfortunately, but he'll give it a good try and see if he can try another banzai move, just like heat number 2. As onto the back straight for the last time goes Linus Henson. Almost a perfect day, not quite, as he turns his way off the back straight now through turn 6. Through the chicane they go. That's going to be very tricky tomorrow, I'm sure, with the other categories, with everyone piling down there off the back straight looking for their first points of the season. But for today it's been a little bit more calmer in terms of the heats. There hasn't been too many dramas down at turn 6, but I can be assure you that there's going to be a lot more action down there tomorrow. As through the last couple of corners is about to come Linus Henson then. A great start to this race. He's worked his way through from row number 3. He's got himself to the head of the field. He hasn't really looked back, and he's extended this margin over the rest of the pack. Down through the final corner he comes. Minimax heat number 3 is going to be won by Linus Henson here at the Genk circuit in Belgium. Checker flag waves for him, and again a delighted victory for that youngster. 2nd place goes to the Winter Cup champion Ollie Pilker. 3rd place then across the line will be Chris Hannon, after pole position for all 3 races, but no wins for him, unfortunately. Gianni Androzani then comes through next up in 4th place. 5th place goes to the man from the back, Robert Dahan. 6th place for